This is Inside Edition, caught on camera. Up first, we have this video of a woman who went to extreme lengths to get away from the police.
No. Whoa.
This woman, wanted by cops, turns into a daredevil.
Oh, look at this. That's something we haven't seen in a while.
She climbs up onto the top of a house looking for an escape route. There's nowhere to go, so she makes a daring leap, jumping from roof to roof, then hops off, landing on someone's car.
Oh, that's not good for the roof.
The bizarre police chase started with the woman behind the wheel of this car, weaving through traffic in L.A.,
Whoa.
coming dangerously close to hitting other drivers.
Wrong side of the road.
She reaches speeds of 95 miles an hour on residential streets.
It looks like this is where they're going to jump out.
Unable to shake the cops, she pulls over and makes a run for it, along with her male passenger. To the roof she goes, thinking maybe that's how she can escape this mess. That's when she gets a running start and makes a bold series of leaps, culminating in this desperate jump. Finally, she's out of options.
She might be cornered, but we've seen her do some pretty good gymnastics here.
The woman meets up with her partner in crime on the top of a shed.
Oh, there we go.
After one last romantic hug, it's time to give up.
It's like a scene out of an action movie.
Yeah, there it is.
Cops in California catch up to a female driver in a bizarre police chase, caught on camera from above. But when police surround her, the suspect manages to escape and drive off again. Luckily, police tailed her and had a second chance to catch the getaway driver. But another botched attempt left the woman free.
Oh, there goes another pit maneuver. We're at Leonis.
The driver turns off her headlights and heads to a dark neighborhood where she parks the car and flees on foot.
Trying to kind of walk out casually as if nothing is wrong.
She hides behind a building before running away and is eventually caught by police. Her name was not released.
They're tasing him right now.
It's unclear why the woman was being chased, but it looks like she'll never know if third time really is a charm.
Artwork is meant to be admired, but that's not what happened to these pieces of art.
If you're not careful, you can wreak havoc on art. Some things are broken on purpose, like this sand sculpture that appears to be vandalized by a teen in Hawaii. And other works of art are damaged by accident. Here's a look at some masterpieces that haven't been treated so nicely. That sand sculpture in Hawaii, it was on display at the Royal Hawaiian Hotel in Waikiki. Sand may not be the most permanent medium, but this teen didn't help. In surveillance video, she can be seen pulling a head off the sculpture. She pulls off the nose of another head. Then she throws a pillow at it. Honolulu police reportedly arrested her, and the artist who created the sculpture flew to Hawaii to help repair it. Sometimes the damage is accidental. This 12-year-old boy caught his fall by accidentally punching a hole into an oil painting at an exhibition in Taiwan. The 17th century Baroque artwork was reportedly valued at $1.5 million. Fortunately for the boy and his family, insurance covered the restoration costs. And look at this! A little boy reaches out to touch a statue when it falls over. It happened at a community center in Kansas. Fortunately, the child wasn't hurt. The statue, however, wasn't so lucky. It was valued at over $100,000. Insurance paid for that one, too. This piece of art was shredded in front of everyone.
Selling for $816.
As soon as the gavel went down to mark the sale of Banksy's Girl with Balloon for $1.4 million, the painting seemed to fall from its frame and into pieces. It was all on purpose, since a shredder was built into the painting. Some guess this might actually increase its value. The painting has since become known as Love is in the Bin. It's another piece of subversive art from the elusive, mysterious Banksy. A woman was trying to snap a picture of priceless works by Goya and Dali when a wall falls over almost on top of her. It happened at a museum in Russia. Another woman can be seen in the corner in shock over what just happened. If If you want to take a selfie in front of something famous, there's a museum solely dedicated to that in Los Angeles.
This is super interactive and you can play like everywhere. It's like a playground for adults.
Here you can have all the fun you want without worrying about ruining the artwork for anybody else. It's an exception to the cardinal rule of museum going. Look, but don't touch.
These next clips show what happens when kids get behind the wheel of a car.
99, so please go in the wrong way on the Del Rey exit.
A 12-year-old boy led sheriff's deputies on a high-speed chase in a stolen car before crashing into another vehicle. The Doña Ana County Sheriff in New Mexico says her office received reports from people who saw the child behind the wheel driving erratically on the highway. When deputies found the car, they say the child did not pull over and continued to speed away. At one point, deputies thought the child was going to stop when he pulled into a parking lot and 4 other teen boys jumped out of the car. But once they dispersed, the driver kept going and eventually crashed into another vehicle. That's when authorities moved in to arrest him.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Sit down! Sit down! We'll talk right now.
5 people, including 2 children, were in the vehicle that was hit, and the driver was sent to the hospital. The child driver was not injured. Because of his age, authorities can't release any information about him. The sheriff says investigators cannot back up his claim that he was forced to drive the car. She says they found a handgun that was thrown from the vehicle and bullets in the child's pocket. Reports say he was arrested on charges connected to the stolen vehicle and the chase, and that he also had an outstanding felony warrant.
A stolen car zooms past a police cruiser and triggers an amazing high-speed chase. At the wheel of the car is a 12-year-old girl. Her 7-year-old sister is with her, and that's Grandma's car. Look at the speedometer of the pursuing cop car in the dashcam video. 119 miles per hour, and he still can't catch her. Other police cars chasing her clocked 126 miles per hour. In a chase straight out of an action movie, the 12-year-old zips in and out of oncoming traffic at hair-raising speeds. Her skill at the wheel even amazed the county prosecutor.
I am amazed that somebody wasn't T-boned type accident in all this. There wasn't a head-on collision. In fact, there's at one point 2 cars are coming at her, and somehow she manages to drive right between them.
She scraped just 2 vehicles and drove several miles the wrong way on a highway. So how did the chase come to an end after 40 miles? It turns out that Grandma's Chevy Cruze is fitted with the OnStar anti-theft system. Cops asked OnStar to actually stop the vehicle by remote control. Police Sergeant Becky Lane.
OnStar took control of the vehicle, so she was slowing down probably in 50s, 60s going through, and then pulled over at the high school.
The 12-year-old was charged with auto theft and evading arrest. She was reportedly in a hurry to visit her 18-year-old boyfriend.
Stop that bus! A stolen church bus careens down a highway with all the action caught on tape by the hit A&E show Live PD. And you won't believe who's behind the wheel. The camera crew was on a nighttime ride with deputies from Fort Bend County, Texas, when they came upon this out-of-control bus.
The bus is refusing to stop, driving with no lights on.
We spoke with Chief Legal Analyst for ABC News, Dan Abrams, who also hosts Live PD.
The officer and our crew initially thought that there were kids inside that bus.
During the hot pursuit, the deputies suddenly realize who's behind the wheel.
It looks to be like he's a young white male.
Turns out he's a 15-year-old kid. As the rear door violently swings open, you get a glimpse of the kid driver, and you can also see there are no passengers on board.
I think the police here were being pretty careful in the way that they followed this bus. There were multiple vehicles there. They weren't trying to use any kind of crazy maneuver.
The bus crosses lanes and even strikes a barrier. The bus comes to a stop only after it rams into a sheriff's cruiser.
Just crashed down into a unit.
Deputies with guns drawn rush the vehicle. The kid is placed in handcuffs. Just look at him, wearing a yellow t-shirt and red shorts, not much more than 5 feet tall. The pastor of the church that owns the bus has refused to press charges. The juvenile was, howear, charged with evading arrest and aggravated assault on a police officer for ramming the patrol unit.
Just crashed down into the unit.
More Inside Edition caught on camera coming right up.
A perfect day at the playground. Then this. The cardigan clutching cutie gets the scare of her little life. It's just an image of a giant ant, but it really does look scary.
Welcome back to Inside Edition caught on camera. These next videos show that it's not just people who get chased by the police.
These cattle were not just going to be led to the slaughter. Instead, they led police on a chase through the streets of St. Louis after 6 of them reportedly broke free from a slaughterhouse. This one seemed determined to get as far away as possible. Police followed it around for a while as it ignored pats on the back and even human attempts to fence it in again. 5 of the 6 were rounded up quickly, but it took several more hours to find the last runaway and bring it back. It was a daring escape that attracted lots of spectators, but it seems the taste of freedom for these cattle was only temporary.
Watch this dramatic video of more than a dozen officers trying to rescue a driver whose car flipped on its side during a wild police chase. Look at them use all their strength to help free the victim, all while a helicopter camera from above recorded the whole thing.
The power of blue. They're trying to move it. You know, we don't know exactly what's going on down there. Maybe perhaps that person's pinned and they need to move that vehicle to get that person out.
They eventually pulled the driver out through the windshield and walked with her to make sure she was okay.
There they go. They're going to put the cuffs on him.
At the same time, the suspect, who cops say caused the rollover, was on the ground getting handcuffed. Police say this man was wanted in connection to a shooting in Los Angeles earlier in the day. He raced through the streets in a white Mercedes with paper plates. Cameras captured smashing into several cars along the way, and even got pretty close to hitting a bus.
Solid collision. There's a whoa, causing another collision right there.
The suspect eventually stopped in the middle of the road and put his hands up to surrender.
Look at him go!
Stop that bear! It's a crazy chase as a bear runs through a residential neighborhood in L.A.
We have a visual. LAPD's on 6. They've got the bear in their light too.
The beast transfixed the City of Angels as he climbed fences, scurried down sidewalks, crossed major intersections, and even invaded a college campus. The bear was first spotted here on the campus of Mission College north of Los Angeles. Frightened students and teachers were ordered to stay in the buildings while authorities desperately tried to capture the animal. Watch as he ran through sprinklers and a basketball court, then sprinted off campus.
I would not want to personally meet this thing. Look at that. There's a guy right there by his fence.
Frightened homeowners took shelter inside as police worked to corral the bear. The agile animal scaled a wall and then another fence during his 2-hour adventure. His last stand ended when wildlife officers cornered him and shot him with tranquilizer darts.
Whoa! Ow! Ow!
15 minutes later, he passed out on this homeowner's lawn.
We heard some noise, and then I walked outside, and I looked out the back door, and I saw the bear walk past the back door.
It took 6 officers to carry the bear to a waiting truck. There he had a good nap with his tongue sticking out and arms strapped down. A well-needed rest after a wild and crazy night.
Look at him go. Oh!
A puppy pursuit.
We got a call from a concerned motorist of 2 dogs running on the freeway northbound I-17.
A high-speed chase of a different kind. For about an hour, cops in Arizona were after 2 furry white puppies. One was caught on the highway, but the other had different plans, darting into a mobile home park. There, residents joined officials on the search.
Everybody helped chase him right into the right spot.
The dogs were taken to an animal shelter, dirty, one with an eye infection.
Immediately once they saw that everybody around them was like really nice and not going to hurt them, they just loved on us. So they're really, really friendly dogs.
If the pup's owners aren't found, they'll be put up for adoption, hopefully going to someone with a good fence.
Up next, videos of daring rescues and quick-thinking saves, including this mom who saved her choking baby's life.
Somebody help me! A desperate mother, a baby not breathing. It's every parent's worst nightmare.
I was in the middle of cooking dinner. He had his back turned, but the way he wasn't really moving, I knew immediately that something was wrong.
Brittany Weir said she knew it was a life and death crisis for her year-old son, Mason. Then she remembered she had a device called a life vac. She grabbed it and ran outside.
Just screaming for help, hoping either someone would come and help us or someone would call 911.
You could see her put a device over Mason's mouth. She pulls a plunger, and then the greatest sound. Her baby crying. He's breathing. Brittany showed us the life vac.
Here's the one that saved Mason's life. And it's so easy. You just pop it in there and hold it, plunge down, pull it back. It's really that easy.
Caught in Mason's mouth was the clear plastic top from a doll's baby bottle.
I was able to see a piece of plastic. It was clear and pull it out of his mouth.
A 10-month-old baby starts choking on a piece of pancake.
We recently aired a story about a life vac used to save a choking child in a restaurant.
Did you see that story as well?
That story is why I bought the product, and that's why he's alive.
It's a race against the clock to save a 3-week-old baby.
He's breathing, but it's like he's holding his breath.
The little guy is choking and struggling to breathe. Police body cam video shows his mom overcome with emotion.
There we go. There we go. There we go. Come on. You're okay.
Baby Grady slowly starts to come to, but is still having a hard time breathing.
Come on, buddy. There's them eyes.
Finally, the sound everyone was waiting for.
No, and I did the same thing.
He lets out a big cry. So what was Grady choking on? Turns out it was gas relief drops, which are commonly given to babies struggling with stomach pain. Dr. Diane Hez with Gramercy Pediatrics says the drops are perfectly safe, but there is a correct way to administer them.
When you're going to give the baby medicine, you shouldn't give the baby medicine lying down. You should give the baby with the head up in your arms, and then you can stroke the cheeks, because that'll stimulate them. It's called a rooting reflex. They think food is coming and they're going to start like putting their mouth open. If you have medicine here, you'll go to the side of the tongue, and remember, you don't have to give it all at once. You can give the side of the tongue, and if you see it's pulling up, you can tickle under their neck, under their chin, and that stimulates them to swallow.
Helpful advice that might have prevented this family's emergency. And here is baby Grady today, happy and healthy with parents Joe and Caitlin Chronister.
When your baby turns purple, that ain't normal. That's scary. We panic.
Fortunately, Officer Cody Hubbard, who is also a dad, knew exactly how to help.
There we go. It felt good, to see how that came out. And just the look in their eyes once their baby started crying, I'll never forget something like that.
No, and
These prison inmates tried to break into a car, but it's for a very legitimate reason. A 1-year-old girl sitting in the back seat was accidentally locked inside by her dad.
You okay, baby?
Deputies tried their best to no avail. Then somebody had a bright idea. Call some inmates. The inmates, all nonviolent offenders, were on a work release detail in Newport Richey, Florida. They used a coat hanger to activate the electronic lock. Other inmates stood nearby offering moral support and maybe some expert advice. You could hear the alarm go off, indicating they got the door open.
Thank God! Woo!
I spoke to Mom, Shadow Lantry, and little Dallas today.
It was just so funny, the irony, a police officer asking an inmate to break into a car.
It was over in just about 2 minutes, but little Dallas had enough for one afternoon. Now, if you're fans of Divorce Court, you may recognize this mom. She and her husband Joe appeared on the show last year.
My relationship has been really strained lately.
Everything worked out just fine for them, the same as it did for little Dallas.
Bye-bye.
A police officer races to the scene of a serious house fire.
There's someone in there?
It's a life or death situation. There's a teenager trapped on the second floor.
Feet first! Feet first and jump!
The officer encourages the teen to jump. There is no choice.
Hey, buddy, hang your hands down, and I'm right below you. All right? Can you get your... buddy, hey! Can you put your hands in and hang?
Thick, choking smoke overwhelms Officer Alexander Wildberger.
Tell me what the conditions were like.
The whole front of the house was on fire, and there was thick black smoke coming out of every window that I could see.
Neighbors in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania stepped in to do what they could.
Hang, me and him will catch you. We will catch you. Put your hands on the ledge and we will catch you. Yes, it's only like 6 feet if you hang.
They all brace for impact.
Better get under him.
The teen actually crashes into a first-floor window on the way down.
You didn't win that. Yeah.
All right. You certainly rose to the occasion, sir.
It truly wasn't just me. The fact that the community came together and helped someone who needed help.
Thanks for watching Inside Edition Caught on Camera. We'll be right back with more Inside Edition streaming.
Powerful stories that change the way you think. Impactful investigations that change the way you see.
How many times has your car been stolen?
5 times.
Yeah. What? Do you think that you're a responsible owner of tigers?
I damn sure do. Heartwarming moments that change the way you feel. I feel amazing. Now available in a place that changes the way you watch TV. Inside Edition, streaming.
Welcome to Inside Edition Caught on Camera. I'm Mara Montalbano. History was made in the fall of 2022 when NASA successfully crashed a satellite into an asteroid. Here's the astonishing video.
3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. History was made when NASA successfully crashed a satellite into an asteroid, which sounds like a really bad mistake. But Mission Control has never been this excited to see a lost signal.
We triumph for humanity in the name of planetary defense.
DART was the first test of our ability to defend the Earth against an asteroid. Surely no one is more relieved than Bruce Willis, who thus far has been the only person to stop an asteroid from hitting the planet in Armageddon.
Press it.
But a team at Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory set a more realistic goal. Instead of exploding an asteroid, they attempted to just move it. They set their sights on Dimorphos, an asteroid about the size of a football field that is orbiting another asteroid 7 million miles away. DART set out 10 months ago to connect with Dimorphos, so waiting for impact was a nail-biter.
Looks to me like we're headed straight in.
Getting a visual of Dimorphos was exciting enough, but watching until the last moment when it got closer to the asteroid's surface made them realize their 7-year-long mission was a success. Their work may very well save mankind from extinction.
3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow. The results are in from the test mission to potentially save humanity. NASA was excited when its Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or DART mission, successfully crashed a satellite into an asteroid 7 million miles away from Earth. But they say the impact, while small in the universe, was huge for the planet.
Today, NASA confirms that DART successfully changed the targeted asteroid's trajectory.
The satellite set off into space in November and traveled for 11 months with the intention of crashing into Dimorphos, an asteroid orbiting a larger parent asteroid. The hope was to change its trajectory in some way. Scientists say they would have considered a 10-minute reduction time in orbit a great success, but they exceeded expectations by reducing the orbit by 32 minutes.
Let's all just kind of take a moment to soak this in. We're all here this afternoon because for the first time ever, humanity has changed the orbit of a planetary body.
NASA says it is learning more and more from this mission every day as its scientists continue to study the effects of its test.
All right.
We conducted humanity's first planetary defense test. And we showed the world that NASA is serious as a defender of this planet.
It starts as a routine traffic stop, but this cop is about to find herself in a major crisis.
You're going 57 and a 35, sir. You have your driver's license, proof of insurance.
The driver gets out.
Why are you getting out of the car, sir?
I don't need my driver's license.
12 radio, this male just stepped out of the vehicle.
Things go downhill fast when she tells the driver to sit on the ground.
Have a seat.
I'm not sitting. I'm not sitting!
Back off! Back up!
I'm not sitting!
Then it gets really ugly.
Put your hands on the vehicle now!
But look at this. A citizen runs over to help.
What the
Radio, send me units. Roll over on your stomach now.
Then more Good Samaritans, including another woman, join in. A second police officer also arrives on the scene.
Knock it off now!
Working together, they put the driver in handcuffs.
You don't do that to a woman. Do you understand me?
Then he's led away. We located one of those Good Samaritans, Stacia Matucci, the woman who gave the guy a talking to.
You don't do that to a woman.
What compelled you to get out of your car and help?
I didn't even think about it. It was just somebody that was in need of help. So many people just pull out their camera and want to film it and put it on TikTok. And all the action of helping has stopped. I just feel, it's just a part of being human.
Today, police outside Cleveland are praising all those citizens who came to the rescue.
It shows the bravery on their part because they had no idea what they were stepping into. They could have been risking their lives to assist that officer.
I'm not sitting!
Back off!
Usually, it's parents rushing to save a child in distress in a swimming pool, but this time, it's the reverse. Now, this mom is calling her son her little hero.
Any mom would be proud when her son is publicly hailed a hero. But for Lori Keeney, this award is extra special. Her son's in the spotlight for saving her life. Surveillance video shows 10-year-old Gavin Keeney diving into the family pool to save his mom, who's having an epileptic seizure. Just like a trained lifeguard, Gavin lifts his mom's face out of the water. Then he clings to the ladder, the entire time supporting her head to keep her from drowning. His grandfather realizes what's happening and rushes to help. Mom throws her arms around him. Then they all embrace in relief. Gavin and Lori spoke to reporter Allison Hall from their home in Kingston, Oklahoma today.
Has anyone ever taught you how to save somebody drowning?
No.
You saved your mom's life.
He really did.
Mom says she's amazed when she watches that video.
You must be so proud of him.
Proud isn't even enough of word for it.
Now you see why this 5th grader is the toast of the town.
Now another dramatic rescue, this one at sea, as a father and son's boat hits rocks, throwing them into Boston Harbor. When cops finally reached them, they were staying afloat by hanging on to their cooler. A father and son cling to the side of a police boat after their own boat sank. You can see the terror in their eyes. Cops say they were enjoying an end-of-summer lobster fishing trip when their boat hit rocks and took on water. 2 officers from the Boston Police Harbor Unit were on patrol when they got the call about the sinking boat. When they spotted the elderly dad and his adult son, they were treading water and hanging on to, of all things, their cooler, which doubled as a flotation device. They had been in the frigid New England water for 15 minutes and couldn't last much longer before hypothermia set in.
You want to get them in the boat as quickly as possible. And you may think, oh, they're right there, we have them. Take your time getting them in the boat, but you take one big gulp of water and you can sink them.
The remarkable rescue was caught on their body cams. The son asks the rescuers to save his dad from the freezing water first.
Help him up, please. Help him up first. You got it. You got it. Yeah, boy. I'm 76 years old. All right, take your time. Take your time. You're good. You're good.
Then it was the son's turn.
Please. I can't hold on much more.
Success, a happy ending to a serious scare at sea.
They were very appreciative.
Help him up, please.
More remarkable caught on camera moments when we return.
It's the heart-stopping video of a truck nearly hitting 2 people on the road. You can see one man waving frantically at the semi to warn the driver that a black car was broken down blocking the lane along a highway in Utah. The truck avoids hitting the car but practically runs over 2 people on the side of the road.
Welcome back. This driver is lucky no one was injured after she drove into a Massachusetts mall.
This driver is lucky no one was injured after they drove into the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts. The elderly woman drove on the mall's pedestrian bridge, where safety barriers are currently missing, and proceeded through the automatic doors. After driving about 60 yards, she stopped, parked in front of a store, and got out to talk to bystanders. Police described her as disoriented and confused. After meeting with a mental health clinician, she was taken to the hospital. Shoppers watching the incident were clearly startled. No charges were filed. Meanwhile, in Madrid, Spain, firefighters were called out to remove a stolen car stuck in a bus terminal stairway. They used a pulley to lift the car up 1 floor. Police say no one was injured and they are now investigating what occurred. After the frightening ordeal, the driver of the vehicle was taken to the hospital. These men went above and beyond while delivering pizzas.
I don't really expect anything. I just kind of expect to show up and just kind of leave.
In 2018, when Joey Grundle went to deliver a pizza to a home in Wisconsin, he saw something he couldn't ignore.
I showed up, I gave the guy his pizza, and behind him was a woman. I could see a black eye on her right eye, and that's when she pointed to it and mouthed the words to me, "Help me." And shortly thereafter, mouthed again to me, "Call the police."
Did you see any other person in there besides the female?
It was her, and I'm assuming her husband or whatever. He's the one that paid for it, whatever. She was standing behind him, and that's when I saw her mouth those things to me.
Police went to the home and arrested the suspect. He was accused of entering his ex-girlfriend's home and punching her in the face. He faced domestic abuse, strangulation, and kidnapping charges.
So sometimes it's best just to pay attention to what's going on. You never know when someone's trying to maybe just trying to give you a little hint there.
Jim Leary may be America's most dedicated pizza delivery guy. Look at him trudging down the tracks trying to locate a hungry passenger who ordered a pizza from a broken down train.
They were stuck on the train. I was like, wow, okay, this is a first.
In 2017, Amtrak train number 161 from New York to DC stopped in Delaware because of mechanical problems. After 2 hours on the stalled train, a passenger called in an order.
Well, the phone guy was like, hey, Jimbo, we have a delivery. Some guys are stuck on the train. Can you do that? I'm like, I got that. People on the train are all screaming and hooting and hollering. We want pizza too. They were hanging out the door. I mean, so I pretty much just, here you go.
Beauty queen of only 18, she had some trouble with herself.
A large cheese with some music on top.
Always belong to someone
Oh my God! In 2018, this Domino's pizza delivery man serenaded his customer.
I usually, when I order from Domino's, I always request someone to sing.
Liz Bruner says she didn't ask for a specific song and was shocked when the delivery man showed up singing Maroon 5's She Will Be Loved.
Beauty queen of only 18, she had some trouble with herself.
The following day, I went to visit him at work because I told my mom about it, and we thought it was just really nice and really cool, and it made my friend Angela and my day. And we went to visit him at work, and we gave him a $20 tip.
I got a $20 tip for singing to this young lady. Beauty queen of only 18, she.
In 2018, this pizza delivery guy dazzled the nation with his piano playing.
You go and you have a great day.
His name is Bryce Dudall. He was earning extra money that summer making and delivering pizzas in Detroit. During a routine pizza delivery, something caught his attention.
I noticed the piano and just said, oh wow, that's a really nice piano. And he said, yeah, you play? And I was like, yeah, I play. I've been playing for about 11 or 12 years now. And I was like, what kind is it? And he's like, I'm not sure, you want to come check it out?
He sat at the keys and started playing Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata.
He pulls out his phone and he's like, my wife's gonna be amazed at this.
We were just freaking out. We just couldn't believe it.
And get this, he's mostly self-taught.
My mom, when I was real young, she got me Beethoven CDs, and I used to sit there and listen to them all day. And it's just, the music just really spoke to me. And I really would have loved to be able to play that on the piano, and I went the distance and took the time to really, with no teacher, learn it myself. I just wanted somebody to enjoy classical music.
This could be the most dedicated pizza delivery guy ever. In 2018, not even a nor'easter in Pennsylvania could keep him from his appointed rounds as he trudged through the snow to deliver a pizza.
Look at this guy. Crashed his car, but still delivers the pizza.
Actually, it wasn't his car, but the accident kept him from driving to the location, so he walked. In 2016, a regular customer who ordered Domino's every day didn't place his usual online order for 11 days, so an employee realized something was wrong. He called police, who went to check on the man at his Oregon home. There, they say they found the 48-year-old on the ground in need of medical attention. He was rushed to the hospital and recovered afterward.
There's nobody else inside the house, right?
Lying on the ground, choking and gasping for breath. In July of 2022, this pizza delivery driver was held a hero for saving a family of 6. Body cam caught the moment Nick Bostic ran from a burning home carrying a 6-year-old child.
It looked like hell, if you can imagine what hell looked like.
Nick worked in a pizza restaurant in Indiana and jumped into action after seeing the house on fire as he was driving by. He ran inside to help rescue the occupants, then ran back again to look for a 6-year-old who was still inside.
I took a deep breath, I ran down there, and I closed my eyes and I led with my hand, and I used my ears to sense out where the child was crying from. I snatched the baby up, put it in my arms.
He was exhausted and suffered from smoke inhalation after the ordeal and was rushed to the hospital. But he was a true hero.
That's everybody.
A 17-year-old girl and her dog were rescued after escaping their flooded home in Kentucky.
We're hearing more amazing stories of bravery, including from this teenager who sat on top of a roof with her dog Sandy, waiting for rescuers as waters rose around her. She spoke with Les Trent.
She's being called America's pluckiest teen. 17-year-old Chloe Adams clutched her beloved dog on a narrow stretch of rooftop to survive Kentucky's deadly floods.
I was just completely terrified because the water was still rising as we were on the roof.
Chloe was home alone. She captured the scene with her cell phone camera as floodwater started to fill the one-story house. It soon became clear that she had to evacuate, but there was a problem.
I checked to see if my dog could swim, and when I found out she couldn't, I knew I needed to find something that she could float on.
Sandy, a mixed breed, has been Chloe's constant companion since she was a little girl. The resourceful teen put the dog in a plastic container on top of a couch cushion, a makeshift boat, and pushed it through the cold, rushing water to her neighbor's rooftop, one of the only surfaces still above water. Just a girl and her dog looking out on their devastated neighborhood.
I did not think I was going to make it out alive.
But 5 hours later, hope. Her cousin paddled to the rescue in a kayak. It was clear who was Chloe's priority.
You actually allowed Sandy to be rescued first, correct?
She's been my very best friend, so I put her before I put myself. And I could not leave her on the rooftop by herself.
Her cousin returned to rescue Chloe, and they headed to safety.
Oh,
Here she is.
There she is. Hello, Sandy.
And here are the loyal friends today.
How do you feel now?
Blessed.
This battleship met with a watery grave. Don't worry, it was on purpose. A decommissioned Navy ship, the USS Denver, was towed from Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, to an area about 50 nautical miles north of the island of Kauai. There, a combined force of American and Japanese military sank the ship to the depths of the sea. Before sending the former USS Denver to Davy Jones' locker, the ship was cleaned of all physical and chemical pollutants, including mercury and petroleum, and surveys were taken to make sure there were few humans and marine mammals in the area. Then it was bombs away. Japanese forces used anti-ship missiles, and the U.S. Army launched guided rockets. From the air, the U.S. Navy Fighter Attack Squadron 41 and the U.S. Army Apache helicopters used their weapons to sink the ship 15,000 feet under the water. This happened during the Rim of the Pacific exercise, where ships, submarines, and aircraft from 26 nations meet every 2 years to practice and strategize tactical warfare. The USS Denver served the Navy for 46 years. It reportedly played a key role in the Vietnam War and was the last Vietnam-era ship to be in active service when it was decommissioned in 2014.
Thank you for watching.
Powerful stories that change the way you think. Impactful investigations that change the way you see.
How many times has your car been stolen?
5 times.
Yeah.
What? Do you think that you're a responsible owner of tigers?
I damn sure do.
I love them.
Heartwarming moments that change the way you feel.
I feel amazing.
Now available in a place that changes the way you watch TV. Inside Edition, streaming.